What's up, guys? I'm Kyle Mylan. Today's Thursday, so I brought in Alex so we can talk about sales and stuff that you should have learned like years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
For those of you that are new to the content, head over to my YouTube channel, subscribe, turn on notifications. Also, don't forget to type in MFG Tribe on YouTube and subscribe to that channel because we've got some big plans in 2025 to blow up that channel that you don't know about yet, but you will.
What do I not know about?
You don't know. We had a meeting.
When there things that I don't know about? Apparently now. I'm just getting left into that. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we had a video meeting and Justin was like, I want to blow up MFG Tribe's channel. And I'm like, perfect. Alex can be the face of it. That's how we're going to do it.
Oh. Are you sure you want that?
I don't know.
You're the prettier one.
We're gonna have to poll the audience. Do you want to see Alex's face all over our YouTube channel? Give a blue thumb if you do. And here come all of them blue thumbs.
Yeah. Is there a thumb down?
There's no thumb down.
I'm always down. I'm always down to create more content. You know that.
All right. So today on Thursday, we come live twice a month to talk about industrial sales. Today's topic is
things you wish you knew in sales years ago. Years ago.
A year ago?
A year ago.
Years ago.
There's going to be a lot of things in here that we talk about pretty consistently, but we really want to put it in a one-off video where you really understand, maybe some of the things that you've missed this year, maybe some of the things that you know that you should be utilizing, but you don't really know how to utilize it. I think we're going to go over this. So the first one,
go to the board.
Yeah, the first one, if you can guess it, I bet you there's people in there that can guess it. It's going to be CRM. Where can I write over here, Justin? Is here good still? There, it's good. All right, cool.
Given that CRM. Alex's mic is a bit low.
Is my mic a bit low? All right.
That's what Tim said. He's good now.
Jack up that mic. All right, so CRM is essential. You need to make it work for you. It is not something that you as a sales guy need to be sitting there thinking that this is just another thing that my sales team wants to do. I know some of you know that I'm a sales manager here, and you're probably sitting there thinking about it and going, yeah, you're the typical sales manager that just wants us to fill out our CRM system. It is very important. It is not just a place to store contacts. It is a tool to track, nurture, and really help you get those leads and turn them into deals. You'll save so much time and headache if you treat it like a living asset. Because I mean, just looking at my pipeline, I walked into Kyle's office today. I walked in and I was like, my pipeline is flowing. It is overflow. I mean, you can't overflow a pipeline. We're just going to make it bigger. But I mean, it is full.
I'll just dig that trench wider.
Yeah, dig that trench wider. We'll make it bigger. I mean, it is full. I am barely able to keep track of what is going on. If it wasn't for the CRM system that we utilize, if it wasn't for the notes, the meetings, everything that Kyle has taught me to implement and said is important, I am working on implementing them. One of the reasons why today that I missed that video meeting was because I had to do follow-up. This week has been jam-packed with discovery calls, so I need to do my follow-up and make sure that I was inputting the follow-up that I had done into the CRM system and making sure that it was up to date. Because you need to make sure that you guys have your follow-up. You may have thought, hey, I followed up with that guy like a week or two ago, which I thought on some of mine that I had, and looking into it, I hadn't followed up since before FabTech or like right after FabTech when we've gotten back. So
time flies.
Yeah, time flies, especially when you guys are having fun.
Yeah. So when you're busy, that's the thing is like, I was just talking with a customer that has an issue with the sales team. I don't think that he watches our content, so he won't be like, yeah, yo, that was me. But if you're not tracking that data with those dashboards, like you can forget so much information if you don't have it organized. So it's like, okay, create a task to follow up. But if you create a task, I put in a system where it's like, hey, this doesn't have something, notify it in a Slack channel for accountability. But even that, like if you're not looking, if you don't have the information readily available to you, it just falls through the cracks. That is the nature of sales. That is not specific to any person, any industry, any age demographic. I don't care if you're 18 or 80, that is sales. A typical salesperson goes out after the lowest hanging fruit, whatever's right in front of them. Ooh, I got this thing. Let me work this thing. And they forget about the stuff in the past. And there's no salesperson I've ever met in the history that's like, of course I remember that. All of my stuff is on lockdown. No, they create systems to make their stuff on lockdown because you need assistance. Because when you are in meetings and new people and new conversations, I got to do these tasks today to get this project going in this potential opportunity going down the pipeline, you will naturally, once you have 5 of those in the week, forget about the stuff from last week or 2 weeks ago. So you have to have that CRM system to track everything.
Yeah, and the CRM system is not only just to track, notes and lead and, all the, the notes and typical things, meetings, follow-ups and stuff like that. We have a system implemented where we have the source of where the deal came from, whether it came from an event and then going into the Civic, it came from an event. What event? Did it come from FabTech? Did it come from IMTS? Because when you're sitting there and you're starting to look, a year, 2 years, even you guys as just sales guys should really be utilizing this, because you can look, hey, what this year I did X amount of deals. Where did most of my deals come from? Well, it looks like most of my deals came from LinkedIn. Looks like most of my deals came from me farming, or events. You can sit there and start really making your next strategy. It's the end of the year. All of you guys should be pulling this information and going, okay, where were we strong? Where were we weak? I got no leads coming from LinkedIn. Maybe I should start posting on LinkedIn more. I got most of my leads coming from LinkedIn. Maybe I should do a harder focus on LinkedIn, as well as look at the other avenues that I haven't got as many deals from. So keeping that in there, because again, you can keep all that up to date, all that tracking makes your CEO's life where, hey, if you're doing well, you can show them, look at what I'm doing. The deals, when they're looking at it, they might be like, well, it's not coming through the website. Hey, but it is coming through LinkedIn. It is coming from me farming myself because I'm tracking the source.
Yeah, it's the source of those deals is so important. I just put a note in the comments. It helps you make those decisions on what's working and what isn't. And that's why I always go back to source. I did a talk at the MT forecast powered by AMT, the people that do IMTS, back right before FabTech. And I asked the question, there was probably 90 executives, industrial executives in the room. And I said, how many people right now can tell me where the source for all their deals came from for the past 12 months? In some sort of quickly accessible graph of what is driving opportunities to them. And like 2 people out of 90 raised their hand. And I know that, which is why it's a loaded question. I asked it intentionally to say that it's important to track that, because how can I possibly know if the stuff that we're doing with our PPC, whether it's YouTube, Google, Bing, geofencing, etc., is working if I'm not tracking the source of deals and opportunities back to that effort. So when I have that meeting next week with us internally for 2 hours going through our 2025 ad strategy, I'm going to be able to look at the last 12 months. What did you guys do that worked? Let's do more of that. What didn't work? Was it the creative behind it? Was it the process behind it and how you executed the strategy? Or is it just not worth the time to invest into that ad platform anymore? But you gotta make all your decisions based off of that data.
Without using your CRM properly, you're leaving money on the table. You really are, because you're going to leave those follow-ups. You're going to forget about it. You're going to forget about clients that, are going to just assume that you forgot about them. Just because they're not answering you or being in your inbox pestering you about a specific thing doesn't mean they're not waiting for you to provide them with some supplemental information or waiting for you to follow up with them with the next steps. So let's go into point 2. Point 2, all of you are probably going to be able to guess this one too. It is...
Wait, let's see if Laura can guess it.
Laura,
you know us so well. What's point number 2? I think I might know what it is. I have no idea what Alex's notes are either. We don't talk before. I walked in there at 2:30 and was like, "What's the topic?" What do you think point number 2 is?
I don't know. Doing better research.
Better research. I'm gonna say follow up.
Ooh, close. It's
okay.
LinkedIn. That would be point number 3. It will be LinkedIn. Right. Follow up is in there, but right now I'm gonna go with LinkedIn. LinkedIn, especially in the manufacturing space, is so important. And when I mean so important, the amount of deals, we were talking about that tracking deal sources, the amount of deals that we get. I mean, I know we're a service provider, but the amount of deals that we get coming through LinkedIn, whether that be that they knew who we were, but because we're reaching out to them on LinkedIn and they're actually engaging and talking to our sales guys, talking to me, there are people that are reaching out to our PPC person. There's people reaching out to our automation people on LinkedIn. They're not necessarily sales guys, but they're out there posting, they're out there showing what they're doing. So it's creating a sense of, I'm interested in what they're doing. I'm interested in what they provide. So utilizing LinkedIn, but you need to be smart about it. You can't just be out there just trying to get as many followers as you can. It's an invaluable resource for industrial sales. But you've got to be strategic about it. You got to go through and go, hey, okay, if I'm, for example, you represent a a certain region, geography, or whether you represent a certain niche or whatever it might be. Start researching that niche within LinkedIn. If you're in metal and you're supplying, or you're supplying sheet metal to metal suppliers or whatever it might be, you're supplying the sheet metal, you want to go in there and you want to find people that are going to be able to utilize that sheet metal. Find the decision makers, find the companies, there are LinkedIn sales nav on there, create those filters, create those lists, do some sort of automated follow-up if you have that opportunity. And if you don't, utilize a third-party marketing team like us, because we know how to do that. We know how to get that follow-up. We know how to make sure that we're going after the right market and the right niche in LinkedIn.
That's what it's all about. I mean, most of you guys are watching this on LinkedIn right now. And the comment I just put is, your potential customers are on there. Are you using it, right? Build your network, engage with your network, provide them with value, post content, create content. It's all about networking. It's not about what you know. It's about who you know. And LinkedIn's the fastest way to get that. Look up a company, the people that you want to sell to that are influencers or decision makers are on there, connect with them, establish a relationship, then eventually sell to them. That's just the way it works.
Yeah, you want to share insightful content before you start going into the pitch. You really want to open up that conversation and get them interested in what you have to offer. Maybe get yourself interested in asking them what they do or what their, market, research that they found, whatever question you might have that can really open up that conversation. That's how you want to open up. You don't want to hard sell. All of us out there get those in mails where they're hard selling us immediately off the gate. We delete them. We don't look at them. So making sure, again, that you're strategic and smart about it, and making sure that you're going after those decision makers. You can even filter it. We've said it before. You can even filter it by people who have been on LinkedIn in the past. How long? Is it 30 days?
So they changed it, but it's like recently.
Yeah,
so
recently.
They say recently instead of 30 days, but it basically means 30 days.
Yeah, so you can even filter it to there where you're like, okay, I don't want to waste time, trying to connect with people that haven't been on LinkedIn, but you find people that are on LinkedIn recently. Those are the low-hanging fruit. All right,
number 3.
We're gonna go to number 3. Number 3 will be Laura's favorite, and just by the fact that I said that, I bet she'll be able to guess it. What is number 3 now, Laura?
Research.
No. What's your favorite? What am I gonna?
Making content.
Yeah, video.
Ooh.
Video. Yeah.
Have you?
Oh, I came in scared the bejesus out of her.
Oh, you pop quizzed her?
I pop quizzed her today. I gave her a couple questions.
Laura, there's never not enough time for pop quizzes.
She was the one harassing me to do the pop quiz in the first place. Yeah. And then so I waited 5 minutes, and then she's like, pop quiz now. And I was like, you're the one harassing me to do the pop quiz.
There you go.
So anyway, video content, it's non-negotiable. At this point in where we are in technology and what's going on and in the social media realm and in the realm of everybody has short attention spans. It is non-negotiable. You need to be out there creating content. The pop quiz that I came in with, Laura, even if you're creating a couple videos a month for your brand, for your company, it is enough to get that information out there. A couple is better than none, and more than a couple is better than none. So, and more than a couple is better than a couple. But as if you only have time to do a few, make sure that you're out there doing it. Make sure that you're out there promoting your services, promoting your products, saying why you are better, why you should choose the company that you represent, because you guys are the industrial leader. You guys are the service expert. You guys are the customer service expert. It is one of those that you can really build a sense of trust with potential clients without you even having that initial conversation. We have a lot of that come in with us. We produce so much content. The amount of FabTech leads that we have from people that have seen our content and are on there and automatically know you guys are awesome because I've implemented the stuff that you've talked about. I've watched you guys be the experts. I've watched you guys talk about things and evolve our tactics. If you watch what we were talking about this time last year, it's going to be different from what we're talking about now. I mean, we have the core CRM, LinkedIn, that kind of stuff, but we're always pivoting. We're always learning new things and trying to bring that to you because we're utilizing this with our clients. And you guys are obviously doing the same. Your engineers are out there, figuring out problems and creating better products, creating better solutions.
Yeah. So imagine, like, back to the theme of the show today. Imagine if we were doing this show weekly or twice a month, like 4 years ago, every year for 4 years, where we would be at. Imagine if you were trying to dominate on LinkedIn like 6 years ago and where you would be at today. So like it's simple things, like things that you wish you knew as a salesperson years ago. I personally wish that I would have known how powerful video could be for a revenue generating source. I had an idea that it would be, which is why I invested into it. But like where we're at today with the volume of content, we were not at when we started. So if I would have done this 10 years ago, I'd be way further along. So everything has this cycle of like, when are you going to see ROI? And that just comes down. What? Say pause. Oh, when you're going to see ROI, and that just comes down to when you start. So like, if Alex started working here 3 years ago or 4 years ago instead of 2.5, almost 3 years ago, then he would be even further along with the LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
So you got to start now, and there's nothing like secretive about it, right?
No.
You just create videos. You have a phone. Just make a video and post it.
Look at the videos that I do that promotes our shows beforehand. If you guys see them, I'm usually sitting in my office. You can see my, nerdy Star Wars poster, as some of them would say, as one of our clients would say, our previous clients would say.
Oh. I mean, it is nerdy.
It is nerdy.
We're all nerds.
But we're all nerds in art. But you see me in there. I'm creating raw footage. I'm in there just trying to shoot and tell you guys and give you guys some information. Those raw videos are sometimes perform better than some of the videos that even Laura makes for me. And that's nothing to do with you, Laura. It's just the raw footage sometimes works. Sometimes they want to see my ugly face without the filter.
Yeah.
So.
All right, number 4.
Okay, number 4. This is going to be Kyle's favorite one, I think. Okay, so number 4.
My favorite. You already said my favorite one.
Oh, the pre-show trade show strategy.
Oh,
Come on, man.
Man, I'm so trade showed out.
Yeah, I know we're trade showed out.
Trade show fatigue. I'm so trade showed out now at this point. We've done so much talking about trade shows, but yeah,
that pre-trade show strategy. Pre-trade show strat. It is critical. If you are going to go to a trade show and you have any hope or expectation of you guys coming out on top and getting leads and being successful, we paused again. We're good. Being successful and coming out and being on top and having those leads, you need to market. You need to let the people know that you're going to be there. If you're walking it, if you're exhibiting, whatever you're doing, you need to let the people know that you're going to be there. There are potential customers of yours that are potentially sitting there on the wall going, I really want to go with these. I haven't talked with them. Some of your potential clients that are going to be attending there that you might not even know are attending are going to be there. And if they find out that you yourself or your company is going to be there exhibiting, walking the show, you have an opportunity to open up that conversation, take them out to dinner, take them out to lunch, bring them coffee, open up that dialogue maybe that you haven't been able to open up in a couple weeks, months, or even a couple years. There's some of these shows like NPE. I was about to tie in IMTS and NPE together. IMTPME, IMTS, NPE.
That's a new show.
Yeah, that's a new one. That don't happen every year. That's some of the best times to sit there and connect with potential customers, with previous customers, with current customers, with customers maybe that you lost in the past because you have a new service, you have new technology, and maybe they're not aware of it. So it's easy to get a hold of those people because they're potentially there and they're there for business. And if you're not marketing them, they're not going to know you're there. So whether that be going through LinkedIn, whether that be creating a landing page on your website, whatever it might be that is promoting that you guys are going to this trade show, make sure you have a strategy. And make sure that strategy is being implemented by your marketing and sales team, not just your marketing team. You need to have them both buy in on this.
Yeah, there's things that we did for NPE this year that we didn't do for IME West this year, that we didn't do last year for FabTech, for just walking the show and then exhibiting the show. There's stuff that we did this year that we've never done for even on the client side because we just figured some things out. So I wish that we would have known certain things a year or 2 years ago. It could have definitely improved things, but it's not even improving it to where it's like making it worth the time. It's like, imagine putting more gasoline on that fire and coming back and being like, oh dang, this was like 10 times better.
Yeah.
It's like FabTech last year walking versus this year exhibiting, like 100 times better, different. And then next year in Chicago is going to, on my prediction, is going to be 10 times better than it was this past year in Orlando, just from things that we learned, right?
Yeah.
We know what works, what didn't. We know what things that we wish we would have done that we didn't. And you just always got to be learning. But yeah, there's definitely, even us and all of our knowledge and glory of doing this every day for clients are learning stuff. every single day, every single instance, and being like, dang, I wish we would have done that last year. But then we just plan next year, right? So next year going to IME West in February, we're going to do things differently before that show for next year than we did this year before the show.
Yeah. So again, it's critical to develop a strategy. You know, if you idealistically you want to do it, sometimes even 6 months beforehand. You know, especially if it's a big show, making it 6 months beforehand, making that splash even before everybody else starts doing it, because you see the big companies doing it and they do the typical, we're going to be here, here's our booth. You guys got to be minimally doing that, talking about it, maybe talking about a new service or technology that you guys are offering to bring attention, to bring people to your booth, to bring people that want to talk to you if you're walking, whatever it might be. So
absolutely.
Point number 5 is
how many points do we have?
We have 10.
Dang.
We'll go through them pretty quickly. These ones will be quicker.
Dang.
Hey, I'm trying to be informative here and come prepared.
I appreciate it.
All right.
One of us is.
So this one's going to be sales and marketing alignment. So if I can spell alignment right, I think that's right. No, I don't know why I put an N in there. That's why I'm not a writer.
Isn't it ALIGNMENT?
Yeah.
ALIGNMENT.
Yeah. Okay, alignment. So your sales and marketing team needs to be aligned. This is a must. For those of you out there that are like, this isn't something that, this is something that you guys need to push. You guys might know this, but if you really take a look at how your sales and marketing team works off of each other, are they aligned? Is your marketing team aware of what your sales team is doing? Is your sales team speaking to your marketing team and telling them what's not working? Because if you guys aren't aligned, the marketing team is there to support the sales team. The sales team is there to close the effort that the marketing team has put forth. It's a team effort. This is not a sales versus marketing effort. This is, you guys need to be aligned. You guys as sales guys need to go out and take care of your marketing team. Really bring them into the deals and make them feel as if they are a part of the deal. I utilize everybody in my team. I utilize my automation department. I utilize Laura. When Laura and I signed a deal, I took Laura out to dinner. I took her and her significant other out to dinner, and it was great. We went to a really good Chinese restaurant downtown in Austin. Had never tried it before. I'm a foodie. Laura's a food. I mean, it's a win-win for me. I get to try new food from everybody. But I go out and take them out for lunch or dinner, or bring them coffee if they've done something for me. Make them feel a part of the sales team, even if they're not, because they're there to make you guys look good. And when you hand that client off, even if it is your marketing team, they're there to support you. If you show them that you support them and you like them and that you're there and you recognize the hard work that they're doing, they're going to keep putting forth that hard work and they're going to keep putting forth that effort. Because we know as sales guys, our reward is our commission and making it, growing the company, the reward it feels for growing the company. And however much sales guys have egos, we're here and we are the ones that are building the company. My dad has a typical saying, what is the CEO's best friend?
Not the CFO, because they tell them to stop spending money.
Yeah, it's their top sales guy.
Yeah.
CEO's best friend is their top sales guy because he's the one that's growing the company. He's the one that's out there making it so they can hire new people. They can research new technologies. They can invest, all those kind of things. So making sure you guys are aligned and making sure you guys are on the same page and that your strategies are aligned is so important.
Yeah, and if Laura doesn't do a better job because Alex entices her with yummy food, I will guilt her into it because I treat her so well.
I don't think you ever have to guilt Laura, though.
And then she's like, oh, I guess I have to because Kyle treats me so good.
Yeah, you never have to guilt Laura.
He's so cool.
All right, number 6. See, I told you we're going to go through these a little bit quicker. Now we're getting down into these. Number 6, automate, but don't sound robotic. It's been a long day. Okay, I was right. Okay. Wait, I saw that right? Automate? Yeah, automate. All right, automate, but don't sound robotic. What I mean by that is there are a lot of ChatGPT AI systems out there that are offering all these sort of automation services that they can provide, make your lives easier, write these emails. It's at that point now. At the beginning when AI first came out, people would read it and be like, this kind of reads weird. Now people know what AI sounds like and reads like. It's been a year. It's been utilized in 2024 more than it ever has been. 2025 will be utilized even more, and eventually people will have an eye, just like the subliminal messaging when you're sitting there watching a TV show and all of a sudden Toyota or Ford, they're starting the TV show that you're watching, the character's starting to talk about the features in there. We know that that's an ad. They're going to start figuring out when they're reading emails, this is an AI, or reading something that you send, this is an AI, and they're going to start ignoring that. They're going to start realizing like, hey, this guy doesn't even have the time or the courtesy to create a custom message for me. Even if you are utilizing AI and you're sitting there tailoring it more to their specific need, that is, you're putting in the effort. If you're just going to tailor an automated message and send it out there and it sounds like, oh, you're just following up on X proposal that I sent on X date, they're going to know, okay, this is an automated response.
Damn, I sound like automated response all the time, man.
Well, that's just because
I send that.
You have that engineer brain.
That's because those AIs be learning from me.
Yeah. Well, that's because
you're
the all-knowing marketing person. So
yeah, I don't know.
All the AI wants.
I know some things, and I have smart people that know more. So there's systems. Tying this back to the theme, there's probably 3 to 5 systems right now in the last 40 days that we're using that I wish I was using 12 months ago. Like game-changing systems, like solving massive problems. And then there's 2 systems that are coming up in the near future in the next 6 months that I wish we were working on. Little pet projects of mine and Christian's that are going to be revolutionary that we should have started a year ago. And once they're rolled out, it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it's ever changing, right?
It is.
It's like automation, AI, technology, etc. Programs, systems, tools, efficiencies. They're ever changing. Something pops up or has popped up, been around for 5 years, but then we don't see it because it wasn't popular enough. It wasn't on the right review platforms. There wasn't enough users in it they weren't spending enough ad money to show up. And then when you see it, you're like, damn, I wish I had this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah, automation in email, LinkedIn, and CRM tasks saves time, but it can be disastrous if it's not personalized. Again, as I said, people will start writing you off. You don't even give me the courtesy of, a personalized message, all that kind of stuff. It's important, but it can turn not good if you don't utilize it correctly. So
100%.
Number 7, this is the one that Kyle was waiting for on number 2. Number 7,
personal assistant.
Follow up.
Oh. Follow up.
Now, when I say follow up, it's something that it feels like it can't be tied in because it's something that you should know as a sales guy.
What's something that you learned this year about follow up that you wish you knew last year?
Something I learned this year in follow up,
or something that you're doing recently that you wish you did last year. You may have known about it, but maybe you didn't do it.
See, the new thing that I'm doing, and when I say the new thing, it's a thing that Kyle had talked about, so it's not new for you, but it's one of those that, if I'm following up on somebody I'm not getting, I followed up on call, I followed up on email, LinkedIn, gone out and tried to find him in person, whatever it might be, and it's still not working, I will go to the next step up. I will go and I'll say, hey, if I'm aware of who they are, if they've mentioned it, if we've had a meeting before, if they're in the meeting, I will go and I'll go, hey, is this still, an option? Because sometimes the connect that you have might not be that correct connect. That's how we signed one of our deals. I was following up with this individual and it ended up that this individual wasn't working there anymore. I followed up with their marketing manager and then boom, they were like, oh, wait, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So followed up with their marketing. Actually, it was their owner. I followed up with their owner, and all of a sudden it came in, and he was like, "Oh, actually, she doesn't work here anymore. But yes, we are still very interested in that." And sure enough, a week later, the deal signed. It's one of those that you got to be really creative about it, and you really got to go. And that's not go to the boss if they haven't answered you for 2 or 3 weeks. It's been a while. I'm either moving this into my close loss or my long-term nurture pipeline. Let me try one last ditch effort to try and get this attention back on this deal, because there's not going to be anyone that's going to be mad at you for following up with the higher up because you're trying to bring attention to this. They're going to tell you, nope, we actually axed that, or hey, actually got pushed back. You're going to get some sort of relevant information no matter what you do.
And the last ditch effort is the manager follow up.
Oh yes, I always go to him.
That's where Alex just comes to me and is like, I'm getting nowhere, I'm being ghosted, and then I see what I could do. That happened with oh my gosh, I forgot the name of the company, one of Palmer's deals.
Oh yeah.
And then I texted the guy because I had a cell phone number, never talked to him before. Palmer was getting ghosted on email and phone calls. He didn't go to LinkedIn yet. I texted him, no response on a Friday. And then on Monday they reached out and said, oh wait, I'm actually going to bring the GM in. And Palmer's like, he comes in Monday and said, hey, you get any random messages? He goes, yeah, this deal that was like basically dead, ghosted, came back. He just ran. I said, I wonder why that is. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, because I texted him on Friday.
Yeah.
And he didn't even respond, and he left me on red, but it got the job done, right?
Yeah.
And all I said was, hey, this is who I am. This person was reaching out to you before, didn't really get a response. I just want to know, is this still even in the realm of possibilities? And he just probably remembered at that point, like, oh yeah, that cool dude from MFG Tribe was following up, and I've been ghosting him, and I forgot. And then it works. Like, So last ditch effort, have your boss just reach out and maybe twice, and then after that, go back to the salesperson and put them in like super long-term nurture.
Exactly. All right. Number 8. If you're not doing ABM, start now. What's ABM? ABM is account-based marketing. Everybody out there has their dream client. Everybody out there knows and can probably list at least, I mean, I'm a sales guy. I could probably list 50 or 20 or 50 to 100 clients that are our optimal clients who I would love to do business with, that are big, that would spend a good amount of money with us, that are looking to grow, that have, the resources to invest into us and invest in a long-term partnership. If you guys aren't doing ABM, you need to start that now. As sales guys, if you have that dream and you have that's how you land those whales. It might be a 2, 3, 4, 5-year play that you're sitting here trying to do this, build this relationship. But if you try and build the relationship before you start trying to sell to them, if you know, hey, they might not be able to use it, they probably can't use it now. If they can utilize your services, start that account-based marketing. Start not hammering them annoyingly, but start building that relationship. Start giving them resources, showing them why you're the best, showing them why they should choose you. Because when that need arises, the first person they're going to probably give that opportunity to is you. Because you've been talking to them, you've been telling them, you've been giving them solutions, you've been providing them with useful information. You've built that trust. So now they have that need. They have a way higher likelihood of choosing you. Again, it could be a long-term play, could be a short-term play. If you start actually developing an ABM strategy, you might be surprised on how much faster those deals actually turn into deals, because you're out there being aggressive. You're out there talking to multiple decision makers. If it's a big company, multiple decision makers. Well, when they're getting into a meeting, all of a sudden, oh my God, Jimbo from XCNC Machine Company was talking to me. Oh, he was talking to me too, and me. He was offering, oh man. They're going to remember you, all of them. You got 4 of them. You got 4 champions there in a big company. So you need to be developing that strategy. You need to start it now. Start it tomorrow. Start it right now after this LinkedIn Live. Start going and putting 10 companies that you would love to do business with on a list. And then once a week, once a month, once every couple of weeks, send them a resource. Reach out to somebody new. Comment something on LinkedIn, something along those lines, because that is a strategy that a lot of sales guys don't utilize. They just utilize what is given to them by marketing. Sometimes you guys know the industry better, and you know the clients that you can pull in and that you can utilize a lot better than some of the internal team. So make sure you're out there doing that.
Yeah, and if you're like, I don't want to do account-based marketing, just do industry-based marketing.
Yeah.
And go after an industry. So just be like aerospace. I've got a whole video on my YouTube channel about account-based marketing or industry-based marketing, going down that path of like, I want to go after aerospace. Who are the players? What's the messaging? What content do I have to create? Web page, et cetera, put them in the campaign. That's the way to do it. And the power behind it is, if you did it a year ago, you'd be a lot further down than you would be.
Yeah, and especially that industry-based marketing. If you're really going to sit there, you really want to you're trying to enter into this new niche, you're trying to push into this new industry, going out there and going, this is the message that I know this industry has, aerospace, metal, whatever it might be, this industry, this is the voice, this is the tone that I need to take. This is how I'm going to push into this industry. This is how I'm going to push into this industry. You can have multiple different industry marketing strategies that you can implement. So,
what is number 9?
Number 9, we're starting to get to that point now where a lot of sales guys don't do this, but they need to start being more selective.
Do you think a year ago you were less selective?
Do I think that I'm more or less?
Do you think you're more selective? Do you think that, so things you wish you knew in sales a year ago, were you less selective a year ago than you are today?
Yes.
Okay.
I would definitely say back a year and a half ago when I was first, really starting to develop into this, I've been a sales manager now for almost a year. When I was first starting out in sales here, I was just trying to get every deal that came in. I was hungry. I was wanting every single deal, every single opportunity. I wanted to sign them. I learned over both with Kyle teaching me and, signing these clients that you need to be selective. You have to be selective. You can't just take everybody's business because it's something that you are like, okay, yes, we can help them. I'm going to take their business. You really need to look into it, because if you're not selective with the clients and the partnerships that you are utilizing, it will and can hurt you. You sell somebody a product or service that's not going to be an A plus, it can fit, it can be a C. They're never going to be ecstatic with you. Yeah. It works, but it doesn't work as well as I had hoped it would, or something like that. If your service is not going to be an A plus service for them, you might want to sit there and go, hey, I don't know whether this partnership is the best, because they're going to want to hear that honesty from you. They might have another project in the future that they can work with you with, but you've blown your shot by trying to sell them into this first initial service. And then in the future, they're going to go, well, when they sold us into this service, product or service, it was a C. It didn't really work. I don't think that this is going to work either. Let's just move on from them. And then if you start stacking multiple of those on top of each other, this industry is smaller than you think it is. It's a big industry, but it's small. It will get out there that X&S company says that they can provide solutions, but they really don't provide excellent solutions. They make things work. It's one of those, they're okay. Here at MFG Tribe, we never want to hear, they're okay. As Kyle always says, I want them to be like, yeah, MFG Tribe, they're the best. We want them to be our cheerleaders. And that's what you got to do when you look into partnerships, especially you guys out there that are high-end closers. You're those high-ticket closers. That, hey, I have these opportunities, these high ticket opportunities that are coming through, and the partnerships, if I want to build on these partnerships and I want these tickets to keep increasing, I want them to keep continuing being clients, you need to be selective. You need to make sure they fit the solution. You need to make sure they fit. Sometimes you need to make sure that they're going to, if you're providing a service base, making sure that they're going to fit with not necessarily your company culture, like you're hiring somebody, but making sure that their goals align with yours. Because if they have two totally different goals, even when you sign this partnership, how are you going to get them to align with you throughout the partnership without causing some sort of discourse in between?
Yeah, you got to be thinking 5 steps ahead, and not always just get caught up in the moment, but thinking like, all right, is this? And sometimes you need somebody else to bounce ideas off of, like, is this a good fit? Do we want to go down this path? Yes or no? But yeah, I'm down with that.
I bring it into Kyle. Sometimes I get off discovery calls and I'll bring them into Kyle and I'll go, what do you think about this? Like, do you think that this is something that we can be legendary at? Because that's how Kyle wants us to be, want me to be legendary. And he'll be honest with me. He'll go, based off of what they're trying to look for us to achieve, I don't think that we're necessarily the best fit for them. I think that, maybe a just small website focused team, because that they're only really trying to focus on a website, or they're really trying to only focus on this product or this niche, whatever service, again, product that you guys have to offer. Make sure, go to the higher ups. He knows. He's going to come in and he's our strategy development. He knows, okay, if I'm going to develop a strategy behind this, is my strategy going to be successful? If not, don't take their business, because you're going to lose trust as a sales guy. And also it's just going to look like your company's got egg on their face if they're not able to do what you say that they're going to do. Last point.
Number 10. Bringing it home. Make content that talks about their pain points, not just your product. So this is going to tie into video, but how am I going to summarize that? Pain points. So again, why do you wish that you knew this a year ago? The reason why you wish you knew this a year ago is because if you were out there making content that was addressing pain points, whenever clients are coming to you now, you can go, hey, I have a resource that actually, a white paper that this actually addresses a very similar pain point. A client within the same industry that you are in or experience the same pain points. We provided them with this. Are we good? We provided them with this product or service, and now look at how more efficient they are. Look at how much money they're saving. Look at how many resources they're saving, whatever it might be, making sure that you're addressing those pain points, because that's how you're going to get able to close a deal and again, build that trust. That's what it's all about. It's all about trust. Waving to Kate over there. I just like when people walk by, I just want to point at them. Because they're like, what's up? Do you need me? And
They
I'm
feel
like,
included.
What's up, dude?
They
You're
feel
awesome.
included in the live. So that's it on my end here.
That's Alex's top 10 things that he wished that he knew 12 months ago. I agree with them. We're going to take a short break and go to the comments and see if anybody's talking about anything besides me leaving all my notes.
Someone can't teach you industrial sales if they've never been in the industry.
You're going to get tips and tricks from our sales lives that you won't get anywhere else.
What I'm trying to get us to be is the biggest industrial sales and marketing agency like in the world. We're not playing for average at all, ever. I don't want any client, if we surveyed them, to be like, yeah, it's good. Like, I want to be like, dude, they're awesome.
Chloroform. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. Jokes inside the office. We got lots of jokes. All right, guys, we're back. Let's go through the comments. Justin, throw them up on the screen. Oh yeah, you got to read them, man.
Okay. I don't have a mic, but I'll try to project.
Oh, you want me to do it?
It's on YouTube.
What's on YouTube?
Comment.
I can do it.
Oh.
Do you have an example of spending a long time, many months / years, of going after an account? What did that look like?
Do you engineered AF? That's hilarious. I want that YouTube handle. Engineered AF. Do you have an example of spending a long time, many months, years going after an account? Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say I could list them 4 or 5 of them.
List your experience, Alex.
So we had a client coming in that was in the plastic space. They actually came in when I first was a sales guy here. When Kyle first promoted me to the sales guy position here, we had somebody in the plastics come through. Big player in the plastic space. We really wanted to do business with them. So the follow-up and everything that came out. So we had the initial conversation. We're sitting there. They're like, yes, we're interested. It kind of turned into that ghost phase. Providing them the resources, providing them that follow-up, following up with them, making sure that I'm answering their questions, making sure that the proposal, it's been 6 months. I would go back in and follow up and go, hey, so-and-so, does this proposal still make sense? Are you guys needing to adjust the deliverables? Yes, we need to adjust the deliverables. Okay, adjust the deliverables. Give them a new quote. Another 6 months goes past. Hey, okay, I've been following up with them. I've been having conversations with them, making sure that everything is in. Okay, have the deliverables changed again? Sure enough, yes, the deliverables have changed again. This is what we're looking to do this year. It was like 12, 14 months for us to sign them. It took a good.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking
It took a good 12 to 14 months for us to actually get them to sign a full-on agreement with us. But we went after multiple. It wasn't just one individual in the space. Our initial contact was different from my main point of contact that we initially signed, that we eventually signed with. There was 3 different contacts that we went through, 3 different contacts that we were marketing to, 3 different contacts that I was speaking to, where deliverables were changing every time I spoke with a different person. So you just got to make sure that you have that strategy in place and you don't forget about them. Just being consistent. If you were consistent with your follow-up and in your ABM, you're going to be successful.
Yeah, I'd say, there's people that I've been trying to close for 9 years, but I still haven't closed them. So,
hey, one of them came back into the pipeline, though. The meeting Sebastian I had with the Bobs.
Oh, my God.
The Bobs.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example
Okay,
right
so
there.
perfect example. 2018, had a meeting, multiple meetings with this company, 2 different proposals. even have it on video about the negotiation process and the thought process I was going through. Did not get the project. Now 6 years later, they're back talking with Alex and Sebastian about the literal same project that I didn't get 6 years ago, that they went with somebody else. They still need help there, and it's back into the pipeline.
Literally the exact same proposal we talked about. The exact same thing he laid out. He was like, this is what I want.
This is what I want. This is what I need. That's what he wanted and needed 6 years ago. He didn't go with us. He went with somebody else. Totally understand that. No hard feelings. It didn't work to whatever expectations that they have, so it's back on the table. 6 years. Hopefully we close it because it's a great company. I'd love to work with them. But there are companies I've been going after for 8-9 years that I still haven't closed. Like not every day, every month, but still trying to push out there. There's people in our CRM system that I've been marketing to since 2019, 2020 that sometimes open stuff, sometimes engage back, but still nothing from a actual engagement standpoint. So it's just about being consistent in your follow-up process. That's why I say follow people that know how to follow up, have good systems, reminders, processes, automation, nurturing, etc. Those are the salespeople that will make the most money, because it's like you're building this entire book of business and all this revenue and all these conversations. And then as you start to stack them over years and years and years, the ones that you didn't get 2 years ago, you get maybe 2 years later. And then if you have that cycle, then your pipeline's always full because you're constantly working people back through that you couldn't close before. So yeah, that is a common thing.
All right, we have a good amount of questions coming in.
Oh, snap. I thought I was going to be able to eat lunch.
Psych.
Psych.
So we got one from Tim Drinkwater. He says, how long do you have to wait to recycle a live topic?
I don't know. Laura, 90 days? 6 months?
If the information changes tomorrow.
Yeah, if the information changes, or I would say instead of recycling the live topic, creating like a subtopic from it or a complementary topic. So it's not the same thing like what's one thing that I learned last year. That could be done once a year, but if we can say like break out that topic into subtopics, I think that would be good.
What's good things we learned? What's bad things we learned? You know,
yeah.
what
are the
things
trends
we wish we
this
learned?
year?
Yeah.
Trends next year. What's the performance that we're seeing this year versus next year? Yeah. Or if you have new viewers, yeah. If you like Tim and you're blowing up across the world.
I saw a Kennametal person at the Wolfram open house too.
Oh yeah, they're all over.
They're all over the place.
They're big boys. They got lots of reps.
Right. So we got one from Eduardo Renavi.
Yeah, Eduardo.
If you make a video content promoting your company's products and build a brand around that, does it affect your brand when you change company?
I don't think it does if you stay in the same space and your network is built around people in that space. If you go from industrial to real estate, then it is going to be completely different. But if you go from industrial switches to industrial motors, like it's just still industrial. So I don't think it hurts you. Plus, if anything, it'll teach you. Like, let's say you do switch completely. Like you go from industrial to selling real estate. It taught you how to build a network and get that engagement. So you'd be able to do it a lot faster the second time around with a different audience.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got one from A. Fernandez Castro. And when potential clients have a higher turnover rate, it's disappointing to start again. Every time. Is it worthy the investment of time in that kind of customer?
I think he's talking about when they have a high turnover rate, like their champion within their company. I'm assuming, every time they're in there, because we've had a couple of clients that have had that issue where that company that they're talking with has a high turnover rate where their champion keeps getting fired, or when they try and go in and have that conversation again, they're like, who, what?
Yeah, I think you always got to look at it as like, is there a commonality with, like, is there common things with that group of people where you're getting that high turnover that you can avoid, right? Is there traits? Is there trends? Is there something there that you can avoid? And I would say that's just you learning where to focus your attention and just say, okay, these guys I want to avoid because they've got high turnover.
Yeah, sometimes you have to, again, being selective. It's one of those points up there. Being selective. Be selective. If it's one of those where it's like, okay, every time I get to almost the finish line, my champion's gone. It's one of those, maybe try and go a couple steps up for where your champion is. Go to the director, go to the VP if they've been there for a while and be like, look, I've been trying to work on this with, the past 3 or 4 reps that you've had in here, and it seems to always hit the same railroad or the same wall whenever it gets to this point. So, and then if that ends up not working out, again, being selective, moving on. Don't waste your time on something that you know that you can't fit into.
We have another one from Tim Drinkwater. Do you guys want to read this one out loud so they can hear it?
Yeah,
Sure.
just throw it up there.
Should be up there right now.
Is it how do you handle potential conflicts?
Yeah.
How do you handle potential conflicts when bringing on a new customer that competes with an existing customer? Alex.
Can you repeat the question again?
How do you handle potential conflicts when bringing on a new customer that competes with an existing customer?
Potential conflicts.
So it's like conflict of interest.
Yeah. So with you, Tim, it's one of those. It's a little bit trickier when we're offering kind of like how we do with our service related. It gets a little trickier where with what we're doing, if we are at a certain level with a client and we're sitting there and we're going, okay, hey, these are the niches, these are the avenues that we're going after. You really kind of need to look at it at this is one big space, going that there is enough business for everybody. If it is to the point though that you're going to have to kick one person's production down or something like that, again, being selective. Do you want to alienate one of them? Is one of them a bigger client? You need to get into that selfish mode of, okay, which one is actually going to benefit me more? If I choose the loyalty on one, are they going to appreciate that loyalty and understand, hey, he chose me because of our relationship? In his back of his head, he's always going to think, did he choose me because he's the bigger client? But yes, if he's the bigger client, you as a sales guy and you as a company owner need to go, okay, being selective. This is our opportunity to sit here and go, we need to push this space, because sometimes, depending on who you're dealing with, that competitive nature could alienate both of them if you're not careful.
Yeah, you just got to be careful. Like, does a conflict with your business is going to affect you in any way with your deliverables? Like for us, there's lots of areas where we don't bring on customers that are competitors of our current clients, just because if we feel like we would have a conflict of interest of working on the same thing because of what we do, then we don't go down that path. And other times there isn't a conflict of interest, even if they are in the same space, because of what we're doing with each of those people. If it's not like one PPC person or one automation person is working on the same thing as somebody else for the same type of industry, going after the same people, that to me gets a little bit sketchy. So just setting up rules to see whatever you're comfortable with from a business ethics standpoint that's applicable to you, right? So like if you're making parts for John Deere and you're an expert in agricultural parts for harvesters or feeders or seeders equipment, then maybe you don't want to work with Case New Holland or other people. But on the flip side of it, you're an expert at making those parts. They'd be like, oh, you already know how to make these? You've got the quality, delivery, all that stuff. Then you can easily make them for me and they don't care. Sign an NDA. At the end of the day, as long as an NDA is signed, you should be covered.
All right, then we get another one from Eduardo.
Do you want me to read? Do we do a live?
Is that the if you make video content? Is that how it starts? Oh wait, no, we already did that. Eduardo is already saying, when is Kyle going to start a subscription-based weekly, bi-weekly mastermind group? That one?
No, would your brand be less effective?
Would your brand be less affected if you posted on both products and personal stuff, hobbies, and life? I think that your brand should have both, and there should be a balance to where you've got maybe 20% personal, 80% business on LinkedIn, to where you're showing at least a little bit of a human element to your personal brand.
I'll add on to that, Eduardo, and say when you're doing your personalized brand, don't be, I would label it a Facebook, as you would say, if you were going to sit here and go, I would read this on Facebook, kind of thing. If you're showing kind of day in the life of your kids, stuff like that, great. If you're going to sit there and start, posting some controversial things and stuff like that, I would recommend maybe keeping that off of there. And I'm not, everybody here knows.
But it depends.
It depends.
What the controversy
when I say
is,
controversial,
sometimes Kyle posted some controversial things, and Kyle.
we all agree with what you have to say. Anyway,
yeah, don't be posting pictures of your food.
Yeah. Don't post a picture of your
Nobody cares
food,
what you
or posting too personalized of a post, but showing that human aspect of it is important.
Got a comment from Ali Romero. Says, hi, first time here, grateful for the information. Can you make this video available to review after I found your content valuable.
Funny enough.
I already responded and said, check it out on YouTube, subscribe, turn on notifications, and then magically it unlocks all of the lives. But you have to subscribe and turn on notifications. That's a new rule with YouTube.
New rule.
It's actually not, but we're going to pretend like it is. Thank you, Allie. And then we got another comment from...
Did we skip over Elijah?
Yeah, we got Elijah.
We got Elijah.
Yeah.
Material handling says, how do you handle a prospect not open to working with you because they have working relationships with another supplier? I just want to get my foot in the door and let them know what we can do. All right, Alex, if you're going after somebody, they're working with a competitor, and you're trying to get your foot in the door, how do you handle it?
I'm a little aggressive. When I say aggressive, when it comes to something like that, I'm gonna find a problem. I am like a dog with a bone. I'm gonna find an issue that we can fix at their current, I'll use us as an example. I'm gonna find a current issue that their current marketing team is doing. Whether that be SEO, whether that be PPC, whether that be whatever it is, I'm gonna start digging and I'm gonna find those skeletons in your closet that you might not even be aware are there, and I'm gonna shove them right in front of your face. And I'm gonna go, this is a problem. Not aggressively at first, going like, hey, look, you need to look into this. You need to really address this situation because it's hindering you this way. Or, approaching it, there's multiple different ways you can approach that. Approaching it with like, okay, I understand this. Is your team currently, again, I'm going to use us for example because our services, is your team currently utilizing PPC? Yeah. The team that we have is doing PPC. They have our budget and everything like that. Okay, well, we're kind of like looking through some of your statistics, the click-through rate, whatever, your conversion rate. We're big on, how much money we're bringing in you. So I'm going to be like, okay, it looks as if, you're getting a lot of clicks, but these clicks aren't turning into deals. Is there a reason for that? Asking them questions, getting them to really sit there and analyze their current partnership and maybe even get them to realize, actually this partnership is not as solid as I think it is. And it's a little bit hard. It's a lot harder than what I'm making it to sound out to be. But again, we always say, provide them with those resources. If you provide them with that resource, if you provide them with why you're better, just keep showing them why they should choose you. And whenever that issue does arise, with their supplier, if it ever does, they're going to go, hey, well, we have Eduardo or Jimbo or Elijah over here that's ready to, take over and is saying that these issues that we are having with our current supplier are non-issues with them.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, like, you can't sell the unsellable. So if they're locked in, you can just kick them to the back burner, put them in an nurture campaign, and go after other people. If you obsess over one person that you can't close, it is what it is. Be selective.
I don't know how many times we've come back to this one on this one.
Be selective.
Be selective.
All right, guys, that's it. I need to eat. It's 3:30, and I need to put some fuel in me besides just highly caffeinated energy drinks.
Don't worry, I'm going to stick around and juggle for the next. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Alex is going to be here for the next hour.
Juggling random instruments.
Random knives.
Justin, throw me the camera.
Yeah. We're juggling our cameras now. All right, guys, if you got value out of this, share it with somebody that you know. Be sure to follow both Alex and I on LinkedIn. Go to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We will be back next Tuesday to talk all about industrial marketing at noon-ish. I think it's noon next Tuesday. So be sure to check out the event, and I'll see you on the next one.
See you later, guys.